Someone sent me Buzz Rossbill's number. Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of Day Sports. We've got plenty to chat about this week. We've got AJ breaking records, teams getting pumped, and of course, tips and predictions. So jump forward to whatever you want to listen to. Appreciate all the support, but we might as well just jump straight into it. So AJ, he's gone out and done the damn thing. He's beat Ken Irvine. He is now the all-time GOAT try scorer in the NRL, which is just ridiculous to think, multiple generations of players it took for somebody to actually beat him. The way that it kind of lined up, like same round, same scoreline, all that sort of stuff's pretty insane. But yeah, congrats to AJ. I feel like it was one of those things too that like everyone knew that it was going to happen this round. Like the amount of bets that got up, 2 or more for AJ, easiest thing he's ever done. Like I think everyone knew Latrell wasn't going to be applying the sticky spray this time. Like he was going to be passed to the nut, and the nut he did pass. That is for sure. Like, yeah, unreal to do it in that clash in front of that crowd, and then everything that happened, after he scored that second try is just crazy. It's such a laugh though, like NRL having up on the screens like do not run out of the field and all this sort of stuff. Like they knew that was going to happen. They 1,000% knew that was going to happen, and I'm so glad that it did. Like if we had passed a milestone like that in this game and nobody runs out onto the field and there's not this massive celebration, then I'm not here for it, honestly. Like the images of the celebration, everyone running into the field, thousands of people, like it's incredible. I wish that I could have been there. Like that is a memory that people are going to have forever. AJ's obviously going to have forever. It's going to get run through the media a billion times. Eventually NRL is going to be pumping through it as well, but absolute scenes. I think there might have been 1 or 2 early runners when he first scored a try. I did see Hello Sport in their podcast last week. They basically did an announcement being like, breaking it down, how many tries, when to run. Obviously, they didn't see that episode because, a little bit early off the mark, as I'd say. And then it looks like there might have been a couple of unlucky folk. There was definitely one video of there's thousands of people on the field, and if you're the one guy that got grabbed by security, you'd be feeling dirty. But it was so good to see. He even had elbow storm in the field, Secchies with him left, right and centre. But he had content creators out there. Just, all of it was incredible. Now, the one thing about this that I was disappointed in, I missed it live. I was watching the game, halftime, couple chores, got to put the bed sheets on, so on and so forth. Thought I'll jump in the shower quickly. I got enough time. It's fine. I'm in the shower, and I'm not beating the allegations of me being an iPad kid, because like I'll be scrolling through TikTok or Instagram or whatever out there, and all of a sudden I just see all these people gone live, and I go, fuck, surely not. And then I get a text from my old man being like, oh, that was a good try. I load up NRL.com, 2 tries to AJ, and I'm like, fuck. So I quickly pull up KO on my phone, see everyone running out of the field. I'm like, I cannot believe that I missed that moment while I'm in the shower. Like, he scored so quickly in the second half. Like, thanks for a nice little Fafita Latrell magic. But I love the try too. The try that he scored, I think the commentator said it, or whoever said it, it's such a rugby league try to get as well for that record breaker. It's not some little, tap through the hands dive in the corner. It's like that whole field run. It's pretty spectacular. Safe to say the bunker was not having a fucking inch in that one. And they went ahead and built the man a well-deserved statue. And I was listening to the Levels podcast on my drive home this afternoon, and they were saying that apparently it's been sitting around for a couple of years and it was made in Thailand. I probably should fact check that, but if that's the truth, makes a little bit of sense. I'm not sure if you've seen it. I don't know if it's the intended style of said statue, but look, there's been better ones. I'm not going to lie, they kind of did AJ dirty in this. If you've ever seen the statue, it was probably almost the better part of 10 years ago. There was one that went out for Cristiano Ronaldo. A little bit like that. It reminds me of that a lot. But either way, congratulations. Build the man a statue, and he has one, and it's so deserved. God knows when that next, if that record's going to be broken in the next 50 years. Who knows? AJ might be holding it for a while. Does make me think, what current players could potentially get close. I know Daniel Tupou, he scored a lot of tries, but I don't know if that's going to be happening. He'd be getting towards, the end, I dare say. Is your Reece Walsh? Is he going to be able to stick around long enough? Because I know Billy Slater went close. If their careers, mirror each other or come anywhere close to each other, depending obviously on a lot of things. But yeah, who knows? It could be there for a very long time. Okay, on to some signing news. Now, Broncos have apparently signed Mitch Barnett. It's been reported basically everywhere under the sun for a 2-year deal, I believe. I don't know how much exact coin. Obviously, that's never going to be, spot on. But it's going to be interesting to see how that is going to go. We're losing Big Payne Haas, and I'll talk about him a little bit later on, but we're getting an absolute warhorse in Mitchy Barnett. So I don't hate it at all. I'm not necessarily surprised that the Broncos picked him up, but I'm kind of like, did we need him? So who knows? Maybe he's getting a little bit less than what's been recorded. I suppose we're definitely going to have the coin for it. But yeah, Mitchy Barnett coming over. I'm not mad. Mitch from across the ditch, we take those. He's a representative player, New South Wales, Australia, and God knows we like our New South Wales forwards. So he's going to slot in quite nicely there. I'm assuming he would have played under Madge, so that's probably what would have helped him get under the line. I dare say it's probably not often the Broncos are going to be missing their targets. Like if they got interest in somebody, especially coming off a premiership year, hey Mitchy baby, let's come win a premiership with us, yeah? I think that's basically how the conversations would have gone down with Madge, and he just would have been, yeah, sweet, thanks very much. So it's going to be weird to see him in a Broncos jersey, but I'm keen for it. Alrighty, real quick recap of round 2. Tipping wise, I had an absolute heater. I went 7 for 8. And you can guess the game that I got wrong. Broncos got beaten by the Eels on the Thursday night. That just crushes the way, the start of a round when your team loses and then you just got to sit through the rest of it. Particularly losing to the Eels. I was thinking about going to this game, nearly went to this game. Glad that I kind of didn't, not going to lie. Broncos look like they've been shot out of a cannon to start things off. Reece Walsh had his hands on everything, and that's when we play our best footy, and that's how we kind of ended last season. Just whatever Walsh wants to do, let's do it. 2 tries, no worries. Hakeem Payne Haas flying through scoring tries. I'm like, I'm going to miss this man big time scoring meat pies. It looked like we're going to go out there and absolutely fist the Eels, and it was looking a whole lot way. 2 things. I made a edit before, like a WWE edit of, eventually hopefully I'll get to post it, but basically taking the piss out of the Eels with the Broncos winning. Shouldn't have done that, and I wore a Broncos 13 plus jumper from Hello Sport. Bang, bang, 2 things. I'm like, 1, you don't early crow, and then 2, that I'm never wearing that jersey again. It's gone, it's retired. But honestly, it's like the Broncos did the reverse comeback of what they usually do. It's like they played that comeback in the first 20 minutes and then the rest of it kind of went away. Again, I'm going to be blaming the trainer with the sticky spray running around. So wherever he is, please load him up with some more. Make sure the boys are not letting the ball go at all, because there was a few just iffy mistakes. I think we're really in trouble with the back line at the moment under the high ball, it seems to be. Walshy put a few down, yes, they're not going to catch every single one of them, but especially coming up with a team, the team that we're playing this week in the Storm is probably just going to kick for their wingers all day. It's a little bit worrying. So sticky spray, I want to see lots of it. Thank you. But yeah, GG's to the Eels though, like coming out and having those points put on you. You could have easily gone, well, that's that. But they dug in there. Jonah Pezzett had a great game. Iongi had a great game. They just did the damn thing. Broncos fans need to woo the fuck up at this point. Like, all the comments, they dropped the new jersey, and it's like, how about you get a win instead of dropping a jersey? And it's just like, what he's on about? We just won the premiership. It's 2 games, literally means fuck all. Look at how Penrith started last year, nearly did us in. It's like, cool. If we lose 5 on the trot or whatever, yeah, okay, I'll start to be a little bit stressed. But at this stage, it's just like, who cares? We're the Prems anyway. We went out and did the damn thing. Even if we have a somewhat off season, as long as we make finals, like, I'm not honestly too stressed. Yes, it'd be great if we go back to back and so on and so forth. But the carry on from people is just, it's blowing my mind, honestly. Like, if you're such fans, I'm feeling like you're not. If you bandwagoned your way here, maybe time to jump ship. Go find another team to go for, because you got to be in the trenches sometimes. But the Wales, they pumped the Raiders. Another tip in my pocket. Thank you very much. But the Warriors at home in the wet, in the wind. They're never in doubt. I thought that it might have been a lot for Raiders to go over there after their Golden Point win last week, but I thought the game really changed. Like, it was a little bit of tug of war, and then Chanel Teo Stevito got run over, knocked out cold. As soon as you see him, the arm goes stiff. You're like, fuck, he's okay, I'm sure. Well, hopefully, concussion-wise, he's okay, but, he didn't seem too bad. Managed to walk off the field, which was great, but that's when I think things really flipped momentum-wise. Like, the Warriors forwards were well and truly up for the challenge. They were like, yes, please. Also didn't have it on my bingo card to have Jackson Ford to be leading it 2 rounds in, 12 points. Thank you very much for coming. So that's unreal from him. But Chance went into 6, and then Tane Tuapiki, he was electric coming there into fullback, like slightly tired of players, and he's so zippy, so agile, so smooth, and he's just fucking through everybody. I thought he really, really was like turned that game on its head, and maybe even without that, it could have gone another way. And you got Tanner Boyd, who just decided to kick them to death as well. Goal kicking great, kicking the corners, scoring tries. Like, the man could do no wrong, honestly. So it makes you wonder how good Tanner Boyd is, considering we probably haven't got to see, his full potential. So I'll be really interested to see how he goes over the next few weeks, particularly when Metcalf comes back, if he's able to nail down that spot. And then, of course, the Roosters beat the Rabbithos. So that's all good and, well and good for the Roosters. I honestly don't think really anybody gives a fuck too much about who won that. Everyone was there for AJ. Rugby League won. That's pretty much what I got to say about it. It would have been nice, obviously, for the Rabbitohs if they got to win that for AJ as well. A little bit of a disruption, obviously, of people coming on the field, but it's like, there's more important shit sometimes than who was winning this. And it's like, yeah, cool, Chooks, you got it done. Let's move on. The Tigers thumped the Cowboys. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. I've seen enough. Give them the spoon already. Tigers' first game, though, just went out there and belted them. Love to see it. They have becoming like such a fun team to watch. The fans really getting around them. They should just play there every single game because it's just exceptional. I want to even go to the Hill at this point. It just looks like such a fun time just to give the "Where's the Queensland spirit now" fashion. But it just looks like a great time. I honestly thought, though, the Cows were about to have the 50-point curse on them in round 2. Another Queensland team. That would have hurt me, but they were well and truly on the way. I don't even know what's going on with the Cowboys. If they don't win at home this week, just be dropped. Relegated back to Q Cup. Sorry, can't do it. Storm get it over the Dragons there at Woo Woo Win. I thought for a second, the way that the game was going, I think Dragons, did they get out to a 20-point lead, or might have been 2012, whatever it was, like they were on their way to getting the damn thing done, and I was like, oh, Flano, he's gone and pulled the wool again. He just seems to only basically turn up for the games against the Storm. I think he's got a good record, but combine that with Woo Woo Win Stadium, and you've got an upset potentially on your hands, and it was like that, I suppose, for a lot of the game. The scoreline might not potentially show exactly what's happened, and then Fa'alonga's just got the ball and went, yeah, okay, let's just stop fucking around now. Bang, bang, thank you very much for coming. See you later, Dragons. Penrith beat the Sharpies out there in Bathurst. I didn't really watch all of this one. I was kind of like a bit busy doing other shit, I suppose, but it was basically just like, who's going to grind out the other team? It's not exactly the most thrilling rugby league you're ever going to see your entire life. I had a feeling it was pretty much going to go that way as well. The Sharks, like, yes, they went out there and they're kind of flat track bullies, I think, a lot of the time, the Sharks. Like, they'll go out there and they'll flog, your average team, like your Titans or Cowboys or somebody like that. But when they come up against your Penrith, your Melbourne Storm, they'll go missing. And if it turns into a grind contest, which I feel like that's a bit of how the Sharks play anyway, you're not gonna beat Penrith at that game. So 26-6 I think it was, doesn't surprise me at all. The Newcastle Knights giving it to Manly at home is food for the soul. I love it. I was really kind of nervous on my tip for the Knights in this one, but they came out of the gates really, really hot, and it could have been an absolute disaster. KP gone, Dylan Brown gone. That's like 3/4 of your salary cap disappeared at halftime. A bit of a lead, and you're like, fuck, can they hold this out? And they managed to, which was really, really good. I thought Shannon Smith did a really good job. But no, they managed to hold him out, which is really impressive. It was a bit of a funny game to watch, like drop balls galore. I think there was one period of time that might have been 5 knock-ons in like a 15-second period. Like, I was watching with my girlfriend and we were literally laughing. We're like, this is hilarious footy to watch. But yeah, the Knights have been looking sharp. I'm a little bit suspect now that, 2 key players, particularly Ponga, is gone now for think like a month, maybe even more. Don't quote me on it, but yeah, could be a little bit dicey. Manly, what is doing, I have no idea. Safe to say their fans got absolutely blasted, particularly being on the hill. But yeah, Knights winning is a fun thing to see, and I love that we got the return to Dom Young at the Knights as well. Dom Young Knights is a mythical player. Love it. And then the Dolphins, they beat the Titans in a real Sunday, just rough watch on the eyes. I nearly went down the road to watch this as well, just to watch a bit of footy. I haven't seen anything live yet this year, and I'm like, you know what, tickets are relatively cheap, little bit of a Queensland derby, don't mind if I do. And yeah, after watching that on TV, I'm like, thank fuck I didn't waste the money on that. Titans probably should have won that one, managed to let it go. Dolphins came over the top of them. There's really not that much to say about this one. It was a sloppy watch.
Buzz Rossdale.
All right, let's get into round 3 tips and predictions. Thursday night, what have we got? We've got the Raiders versus the Doggies. Oh, yes, I like this. I like this for the Raiders, 1-12. They're finally getting their first home game of the year, so they're going to be frothing that. Big warhorse Josh Papali is back as well, which I really, really like. I think they were missing him big time last week, particularly against the somewhat smaller and more nimble pack of the Dogs. I think they've had a tendency to get bullied, and I can see the Raiders doing that at home in the cold. Thank you very much for coming. But yeah, them returning home's good for morale. Sticky's going to be down there on the sideline chewing a hole through his jaw. And then a try scorer, I'm going to go with Xavier Savage. Roosters versus the Penrith Panthers. I'm going to go with the Panthers 1-12 in this. I feel like the Roosters, they've looked okay, haven't looked overly amazing. Be interesting to see them how they're going to go there at home, if they're going to take a little bit of confidence out of last week. I feel like Penrith, though, they're just kind of back to their old formula of just grinding out teams. Like, they're probably not going to change up too much. I can't see it being a real, blowing out of the water game unless the Sixon again, gets absolutely applied and pounded onto the Roosters. But, yeah, I can just see it being a clinical thing that the Penrith Panthers will go through, same as they usually do, and just drag them into the deep water and drown them. Thank you very much. And then for try scorers, he hasn't missed yet, and I don't think he's going to miss. Tommy Jenkins, he'll get over, maybe even for 2. Melbourne Storm versus the Brisbane Broncos. Obviously, I'm going to be backing my boys in this. I'm going to go Broncos 1-12 over the Storm. Nice little grand final rematch. It's what we love to see, especially 3 rounds into this. A lot of people are going to be writing Broncos off, but honestly, if there's a game that they're going to get up for, it's going to be this one. And Madge is probably absolutely up them. Might have made them walk to Melbourne, you never know. On top of that, they've dropped their 2006 Heritage jersey, which I love. Honestly, it is so good. So I can see the spirit of Darren Lockyer taking over Reece Walsh's body and leading the boys to victory against the Storm. That is what I can see happening on Friday night. That 06 premiership energy. And, I feel like Storm are a little bit traumatised after losing back-to-back grand finals and the last one being against the Broncos. It would not surprise me at all if we can pull the wool over them. One of the changes this week to the Broncos, though, Shibasaki, he's been moved to the bench. I think 17. Grant Anderson coming into the win, Deanie Mariner into the centres. I actually love that. I kind of find it a little bit comical that we're going to bust him out for his Broncos debut against the Storm, but it's a perfect time to do it. A man who knows his way around the Melbourne Storm, their players, what they're going to be doing at what time. Yeah, that's the guy that we want in there. And Grant Anderson's a big motherfucker too. He's got some saws to him, so that gives me a little bit more confidence coming up against their big wingers. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a bit of a battle of fullbacks, that's for sure. But if Walsh is on, we're going to be happy days. Xavier Willison as well moves over there to the left edge, which I love. Big boy running holes. Thank you very much. And try scorers, yeah, of course, it's going to be the reincarnated body taken over by Darren Lockyer. Reece Walsh is going to be scoring anytime. The Knights versus the Waz. I was very much leaning towards the Knights, but I am actually going to go with the Warriors, and I'm going to go with them 13 plus in this game. I love that it's at home for the Knights. I feel like that's really great, but no KP, no Dilly Bags. That is going to hurt big time in their attack, particularly the way that Pong is playing. One thing, though, that has nearly swayed me to a bit of a coin flip. Fletcher Sharp's come back in, and he's at 6, Sandon Smith into 7. I don't hate it at all. Fletcher Sharp, he's worth 2 tries himself. Dangerous as all hell. But I feel like the Warriors, they're going to be rolling in very confident to this. I'm keen to see what they're able to do. I can just see that the the attack for the night staggering a little. And yeah, and if Tanner Boyd can kick anything like he has the last couple of weeks, then yeah, I think they're in for a great shot at it. Travelling Warriors after being at home for so long, yeah, it could be a little bit interesting. I feel like this game is, a real pick'em type of thing. But Leka Halasima, bro has been running over people left, right, and centre. I think he's going to continue that week, and I'm going to pick him to score anytime. Sharks versus the Dolphins. I'm going to go with the Sharks 13+. I've had to do it. I've had to tip the Sharks. It does hurt me to do it. And watch me now that I've backed them. They're going to go out there and lose this week. Like, that has got Sharks written all over them. But I feel like it could be a really rough evening for the Dolphins. Like, I've not been impressed with your performance for the last couple weeks. Yes, they got a lot of points in them, but the Sharks, their defense is probably going to be way too good for that. And if they get a roll on an attack, watch out. They got some big boys there in the middle too to really get things rolling. So, yeah, we'll see. Especially if mythical bald-headed Trindle turns up, not good. If the Dolphins can cut down on some of the mistakes, it could be theirs, that's for sure. The amount of they just haven't been able to click, I feel like, with their outside backs. If the hammer's firing, sure, but yeah, we'll have to see how they go. So I feel like with the Sharks, even though I don't rate them as highly as your Storm, your Broncos, your Penrith or anything like that, if you're making mistakes, turning over the ball, they're a team that's not going to fuck up. They will punish you. They will score those tries. It could end up being 40-12 or something in this game. As for try scorers, though, what did I have down? I got Britton Nikora to score anytime. Rabbithos versus the Tigers. This is actually such a fun game. I feel like this is going to be one of the best games to watch for the round. I'm going to go up the Rabbithos 1-12 in this one. I know they're coming off a loss, but I like them at home. Tigers, a lot of hype rolling into this one. We just got to woo up. You beat the Cowboys. We like what you're doing, but you're going to slow down. Yeah, I feel like it is a little bit of a coin flip, but again, going to be a really exciting game. I feel like there could be quite a few points in this, particularly if that left edge... Actually, if the left edge for both of these teams are firing, that's their main strike force, is the left edge for both of these teams. But if you're looking on the right-hand side for the... what do you call them? The Rabbitohs, Jackie White and Campbell Graham can definitely hold their own, that's for sure. Campbell Graham being one of the best defensive players in the game in the back line. So, be interesting to see if Tigers can crack that open. Good luck with the Rabbitohs left edge. I'd be interested to see if Trell's going to have his sticky spray out again, or if he's just going to be palming people and running over and scoring tries. I guess we'll see. Humphrey's coming back as well for the Rabbitohs. I feel like it's really, really good. Actually getting a halfback is going to be really handy for them. But yeah, I do like Trell to score anytime. And into Sunday games, Eels versus the Dragons. This is tough. I'm just going to pick the home team and the Eels in this one. I'm going to go with them 1-12. I feel like... So yeah, I'm just going to take the Eels at home. Previous Lomax Bowl between these two teams, so at least they're not going to be battling about him anymore. It's more like the loser of the Storm Bowl at this stage, these two teams playing each other. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, honestly though, I just don't have a whole lot to add to this game. I really don't. The two teams they're playing each other. That's cool. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if Mitchy Moses can click a little bit more and lead the troops around. If Pezzett plays anything like last week. Dragons, yeah, they could be up for the fight. That's for sure. They're due for a win. I think if anyone's going to drag them there, it's going to be King Gutho. Actually, speaking of which, against his old team, that makes me almost want to pick them. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go with the Dragons 1-12. I've changed my mind and I'm going to go with King Gutho to score. We might not have the Lomax Bowl, but we got the bloody King Gutho Bowl, so that's good enough for me. Yeah, give me Clint Gutherson to score and give me the Dragons anytime. give me the Dragons to win. Last but not least, the late Sunday game between Cows and the Titans. This is do or die for the Cowboys, in particular for Todd Payten. I am going to go with the Cowboys only because they're far north of the wall. They are so far up north that no one else can compete with them up there. 1-12 against the Titans. Now, two struggling Queensland teams. Again, I feel like this is a little bit of a flip of the coin. The old, it depends who turns up on the day is basically what applies here. But there is no way that Tommy Dearden is going to be letting down the fans of the North Queensland Cowboys at their home turf against the Titans. Honestly, surely they get this done. The Titans, I feel like they're going to feel dirty from last week. I feel like they probably should have won that one. They're going to be looking to get runs on the board in this one. So it's a dangerous game for both of these teams, I feel. The Mayor GC Tino, the big captain himself, the big bush us, might be trying to get things done. Really, it is flip a coin. I feel like this is going to be a rough game on the eyes to watch. Might be really sloppy, kind of just drop ball, set restart, this and that sort of game. But I feel like the Cowboys, if they get into a point scoring battle, are going to be able to edge out ahead of them, particularly if Tommy Dearden's firing. Now, I'm going to go with Tommy Dearden to put the dreams of his team on his back and score anytime. Big Tommy D going to get it done. And that's pretty much it for me. It was a little bit short and sweet with the predictions, partially because my phone is rapidly running out of space, and that's actually what I record on. I need to go through and cull some holiday photos and videos on there because there's way too much shit. But appreciate all the support. Catch you guys all next week and have a good one.